welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much to my subscribers. Welcome newcomers. I hope you like what you see, and if so, be part of this journey with us. One big happy family. Thank you so much to all of you that have been with me from the start, and for your loving support, your comments, your beautiful words. Thank you so much. I'd like to mention I do have a private crochet group. You're more than welcome to join in with the beautiful queens that are there. As long as you have a profile pic. Also a Facebook crochet page you can follow, Instagram and TikTok. All of my threads are 4-ply, 100% cotton thread. These are Portugal brands. They're similar thickness as Aunt Lydia number 3, a little bit thinner. So your projects do become bigger with Aunt Lydia number 3. For the most part, I use 2.75 hook, 3.5, depending upon the project. If the video is too fast for you, you could always go below in the description box. There's a 2-minute video in how to slow down the video and turn your closed caption on to pause to take notes. I don't write patterns, unfortunately, as I don't read them. Please, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and give a thumbs up on the video. It's extremely important. And thank you to all of you that have been helping out women in need and for your donations. God bless you. Let's get started. Okay, everyone. So we're going to create a beautiful handbag. And I had ordered these little pieces. Some of you might know the Tamu app orders. It's absolutely beautiful. I love these pieces. I've already created a few bags and give away to family members. These are magnetic hooks to close your bag in the center. And I ordered these beautiful handles, 2 of them for each side with the pearls, and it's got the pink. Love this thread, absolutely. They're 3mm threads, polyester, 100%. This beautiful pink, and the bottom base. I don't have black, but I think this is perfect for that color. I'm also probably going to use a couple of these markers, 3.5 hook, and let's hope it turns out perfect. I'm going to create this as I go, and so if you hear some noise, people, my house is under construction. If I wait for the noise to stop, I'll never record, so I apologize in advance. Sometimes it goes quiet, sometimes it's a lot of hammering around the house, so bear with me, or I can't put tutorials out, and then that wouldn't be good, right? So we're going to get started, and thank you so much for being here. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so and give a thumbs up on the videos. It's absolutely important. So thank you again. Okay, everyone. So on this side, I have 15 holes, and on this side 2, counting from here to here, and then I have 11 here on the edge. I've made a slip stitch knot, and I've left enough string to hide it to make sure that it's secure, and I'm going to start on that first hole right after the little foot there. Okay, I know it's hard to get in that first line going through. I'm going to get my hook through the hole here and bring this string in, and we got to do a slip stitch all the way around. Now I'm not tightening it too much because then it will pull too much on the material on this thread. It's a little bit harder to get it through, but slowly with patience we'll get there. I don't want to move around too much so it doesn't come out of the camera, which is not easy. So we're going to slip stitch, but using the wrong side, okay, because this has to be well in, and of course the wrong side will stay inside of the purse, okay? So I'm going to meet you here after I've done my 15 slip stitch. Well, actually, no, we need to do slip stitch all the way around. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Just poke one through and slip stitch your way out like that. Okay, so we're going to do that all the way around. Okay, everyone, so I've done all my slip stitch. Now I'm going to pull that last one here to the back. Okay, we want to make sure that it stays nice and firm there, all the same way. And I'm going to stretch my thread. I'm going to come back in that same stitch, and we're going to make singles. I know it's hard, but you got to have a lot of patience with it. And I'm going to do 2 singles per stitch, and we need to use only I'm just going to go on the next one here, using these back loops here inside of the loop. Okay, so we want to make sure that we don't go right through the hole, just in the center of that slip stitch we did, and then start single crochets, okay, right in the center, so we can have that hole covered. We don't want that hole to be visible. Okay, so we're gonna slip stitch all the way around, and not slip stitch, singles all the way around. I'm thinking even maybe to do 2 on the same stitch, because I don't want a big gap showing too much of the bag, of that bottom there. So back in the center, that slip stitch, and fill in more of that gap that we have there of the base. So 2 slip stitch per hole until we meet that corner. Okay, so I'm going to do 15 of them, and I believe it starts here. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15. Yeah, it would start here. So would do the 15. So I started on the one right over. On this one here, which is part of that curve of the 11, I'm going to do increase. So definitely I will probably be doing 3 singles inside of here, but when I get to the corner, I'll let you know. Okay, everyone, so I've done 15. On my 15th one here, I'm going to do another increase. Okay, everyone, so I pretty much did all my singles. Now, remember we started with 14. I told you I'd complete the 15 once I get around it. So we did 14, 2 singles on each stitch in the center. On my 15th, I did the increase of 3 in the corner, and then I did 10. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. And on my 10th, I did the increase of 3 singles, and then again I did 15. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15. And on my 16th, I did the increase, and then again 10. And on my 10th, I did the increase, and I completed my last one that I needed for the 15 on this side. Okay, now if you feel that you need to put markers on the edges of where we did the increase, go ahead and put the 4 markers, so you know that these corner increases that we did 3, they will always have to have increase. Okay, so you can put your markers on the 4 corners. It's important for you guys. I know what I'm doing, so I really don't need them, but just to show you guys how we're going to do this. Just gotta lock it in. I've also passed that long cord. Remember I told you we'd leave some string so we can put it through some of the loops back here just to secure it. So I've been putting them through here, of course, with the hooks that I'm using. Kind of hard to get it through. Anyway, I've done quite a bit already from what we started, so I'm pretty good with that already. If I can find my little So at least I know I'm secure on that. So I've put in my markers in. Now we got to work from the outside in. And it's always harder to get that first row going. Okay, so we've closed in. So I'm going to just take it out. Now we're going to come from, bring that loop to the in the inside of the bag. Okay, and we can start by here. So I'm going to come in back loop only and do singles. Okay, try to use my other hook hopefully. So I'm going to do one per stitch using back loops only. It's always hard to get those first rows going, but once you got it started, it goes like nothing with a little bit more height to it, because then you can have a good grasp on it. Okay, so we're going to use back loops only and do singles, one per stitch. Okay, we won't need to do any increases at this point yet, because we are already pretty much doing one per stitch. We had done the increase already at the corner with the 3 all the way around the same way, and I'll meet you at the end. Okay everyone, so pretty much closed in with a slip stitch. Now I'm going to do one chain, come back in that same stitch and continue again this row with singles. Now of course I took out my markers just because I don't want to keep confusing you that we have to do increases, because we did the increases on the corner until we need to do any more increases. I don't know at this point. So one per stitch again, single. Keep shaking my camera here. It's kind of hard to stitch away from the stitch. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. Actually, we're not supposed to be grabbing back loops now. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So we're going to close that slip stitch, not back loop, but grabbing all of the 2 loops. I don't know, for some reason I was thinking I was still doing back loops. So slip stitch on both loops. Okay, then come back up and back into the same stitch, grabbing both loops this time, because we're going to start building the walls of the bag going up. So one per stitch all the way around. Now I might do, don't know at this point how many rows of singles I'm going to do. I want to get a good size going up to get that foundation going. So it's normal that it's not turning yet, but once the stitches start pulling in together, it will start turning more on the bag. Okay, so I'm going to continue. We'll do the same thing to the next row. Next row probably have 4 to 5 rows. I'll meet you at the end. You could always advance the video and see how many rows of singles I have done. Okay everybody, so I've done 5 rows, not included the first one we did with back loops. If we count that, that would be 6 rows. 5 rows just of singles. I took out a bunch of thread already, so I don't have to keep pulling. I'm going to come in with double crochets on this row. So I'm just going to roll it because I don't want a mark in my bag. So I'm going to, where we have more or less the 3 increases, so a little bit here, it doesn't matter really where you start, but I prefer to start it at the round, so it's not as noticeable. So I'm going to do double crochet, and then I can hide this thread as I go. It's always harder to get it going, right? Once you get it going, you're okay. Okay, so 1 double crochet per stitch. No, I got to put this thread going into the back and not into the front. So I can hide it. Okay, so 1 double crochet per stitch. There is no increase because we started with the increase right from the beginning. So just double crochet over the single, 1 per stitch, and hiding my thread as I go just to make sure that my bag will be secure. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. I hope I'm on camera because it's really hard to do stitching on bags and filming in such a small area. So 1 double crochet per stitch. I'll meet you at the end of my row. Okay, everyone, so I've done all my double crochets. I'm going to come in that very first one I did with slip stitch. Now I'm going to come back in that same one and I'm going to do a single. This row is going to be singles all the way around, so nothing to it. Complete your singles all the way around, and then I'll meet you at the end of my row. Okay, just single crochets all the way around. Sometimes you just don't know which way to grab it because it's still not long enough to grab it properly, so you have to stitch in the way you're comfortable. Okay, single crochets. Okay, everyone, so I finished my row of singles. I'm going to come in that very first one we did with slip stitch. Now this row is going to be about front post. Into the next stitch, I'm going to do a single and 2 chain. So that's my first double crochet. I'm going to skip, obviously, the one that we just worked on, and I'm going to come into the next one. Back into the front, we're going to do double crochet front post. So one way to make sure that you're not grabbing the same stitch is, you always have to skip one for double crochet and then front post, double crochet and then front post. So now I'm going to come in the next one. So you want to make sure that you're not doing on the same stitch. So we're doing double crochet, and then on the next one, front post. Of course, until we're further up so we can grab better the pattern to stitch is easier, but now still having a little bit of a hard time. Okay, next stitch, double crochet, and then the next one, front post. And of course, I'm recording, so basically having cameras on my face and everything, so it's kind of hard to see what I'm doing here. But like I said, the easiest thing to see if you're on the right track, basically it's just double crochet, so you're not skipping one, front post, double crochet, front post. And it's much easier to go through there than just concentrating on the stitch in the back. Sometimes it's hard to see which one you're on. So we know we finished doing double crochet into the next one with front post. Okay, like that. And then next one, double crochet. Especially if you're not used to holding your hook this way, it's quite a challenge for me. but we do what we can, right? Front post. We're going to do this all the way around the same way. Okay, so double crochet, front post, double crochet, front post. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, getting to the end of my row, I'm going to come in that first double crochet that I did. Of course, my stitch is always very tight, so always harder to get that first stitch in. Okay, so we've completed slip stitch. Into the next double crochet where the front post singles. So this row will be all about singles all the way around. Now we're always going to alternate the rows this way. We're always going to do front post double crochet and a row of single. The next row will be front post, but on these double crochets, not on the front post. But I will see you there and show you how it's done. It's going to be repeatedly the same way. Alternate these rows like that until the desired size of your bag. Okay, I think it's going to look gorgeous. Okay, I think it's going to look really pretty. So I'll meet you at the end of my row. This row is all singles all the way around. So nothing to it. I want my stitch to be too loose here, won't look pretty. So just singles, one per stitch all the way around. So we're always going to alternate front post, double crochet, and then the next row single, then the next row front post, double crochet. I'll meet you at the end of my row. Okay, everyone, so reach the end of my row. I'm going to come in with the slip stitch. Okay, so we're right on top of that double crochet below, right? Now, I'm going to come into the next one with single and 2 chains. So I have my first double crochet right on top of my front post. Into the next one, we're going into where the double crochet is below and doing front post. Into the next stitch with double crochet. So basically we're just repeating what we've done here. Again, grabbing that double crochet below, the one that is not the front post. Okay, and then on top of that front post, which is where on the singles, double crochet. So it's just a repeat. So basically the next rows will be a repeat of what we've just done. Okay, so once you've completed your row, then the next row, you know, it's all singles. And then the next row, again, will be grabbing, again, inside of the double crochets for front posts. So we alternate, basically, double crochet and grabbing that double crochet behind there for front post. Like that. Okay, so I'm going to continue to do my rows alternating front posts with double crochet and then a row of single, front post with double crochet and then a row of single. Make sure that you're not putting it on top of the front post. It's the double crochet that we have done that's in the back. Okay, So I'll meet you at the end. I don't know how big I'm going to go yet. I'll see as I keep growing with it and see how far it is going up. And then I'll come back to you once I am done, and I will complete it with the black to finish off. I was even debating if I was going to do one row of this pink and then a row of black. I'm still not sure. It might happen that I change mind and can go ahead and alternate colors. I don't know yet at this point, but we'll see as I keep going up. Or maybe not. Maybe I will take this row down and probably go with the black. I don't know yet at this point. Sometimes I get confused myself on colors. Okay, we'll see how it goes. Okay, everybody. So I'm pretty much done with the size that I wanted for this color. Okay, so we have 16 centimeters. Okay, 16 centimeters. And wideness, we have 25. So I'm going to cut my thread and come back in with the black to do singles to complete it. I don't know how many rows, maybe 2, 3. I'll see what I like, how many rows of black. So we're almost there. Okay, everyone. So I'm going to start the black here about in the center of the sides. I've also tucked in some of that thread, but I'm gonna, as I'm doing the singles, I'll hide the rest just to be secure. So about in the center here to start the single, so there's no markation anywhere. So I'm just gonna turn on my hook, hold it, try to find the best way for you guys to see it. So right about there. And do my single. Then as I'll go, I'll hide the rest of the thread through here. So pretty much just single crochet. Like that. And I'll meet you at the end of my row. Okay, everyone, so I've reached the end of my single. I have one more here to do, and I'm going to continue to build those rows of singles. So I'm going to come on that very first one with slip stitch. I'm going to go into the next one, and again start doing my single. Now if you feel like you should put a marker to make sure that you know where you're at, you're not going to miss your stitch or put extra stitch, then it's best to put the marker in. So I'm just going to continue to do a couple more rows. You can always advance the video and see how many rows I've done. Oops. And I'll meet you at the end once I've completed the rows that I think I'm good with. Okay, so just single crochet, probably about 3 or 4 rows. I'm not sure yet at this point. Okay, so just single over singles, and I'll do a few more rows and then come back to you. Okay, everyone, so I did only 3 rows of the singles. I didn't want to go bigger than that and take the beauty away from the design. And I've also put markers on where I will be putting my little hooks here for the handles. Okay, and I put my marker on both sides at 6 centimeters on each side to have the right measurement. Okay, so 6 centimeters on both sides, and that's folded right from the middle of the bag here. So now you could either put just snaps if you want, or I'm going to probably create a little edge, little bridge over it and put my snaps on that little bridge. So, and it's going to be a simple one, just single crochets, but probably grabbing back loops only. So very simple. Try to get this out of the way. So, and then it will be sewed on one side only in the back. So I'm going to leave a little bit of string so I can tuck it in and do a chain for the size that I want that little bridge to come over. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you see, I don't want it too large. I mean, it's a delicate bag, so I have 10. And I'm going to do 1, 2 for turning, and I'm going to come back on my third chain so I can have that first single in. Okay, I'm grabbing both loops. Make sure you grab both loops of this, because if you grab only one, it's going to pull on the material. And I will just keep measuring for the height that I want, how long it's going to take. I don't know how many rows. I will just have to keep measuring from the black point here until I snap over it. Okay, so I'll come back to you. It's just single crochet, 1 per stitch. Now you could either do the normal single crochet on each row, or grabbing back loops only. So I finished my row. Now I'm not going to go up this way. I'm going to turn this way because I want it. I'm going to do 1 chain. I want that corner loop here to be hidden, and I've gotten in with the smaller hook. So 1 chain. So I did a slip stitch, 1 chain, and now I'm grabbing that loop from the chain and just doing singles. I want to make sure this is secure enough, and I didn't want to leave big holes with the thicker hook. So this is a 2.5 hook, so I'm coming in with a smaller hook. And then from here on, I'll continue the back and forth like this. We can have a nice finishing here at the edge to sew it onto the bag. Okay, so I'm just going to do the back and forth singles all the way up. So I've reached my last single here of the chain. And I'm going to do a single. Then I'm going to turn around. I'm going to do 1 chain, and I'm coming back into the same stitch with my first single, and then just continuing for the height that I need all the way up. Now my other bags that I had created similar to this, I had used only back loops. This one I'm making a bit different, just normal single. You got to make sure you go to the very last single and not miss it, because then you'll be in trouble. and sometimes it can be very tricky, especially when you're getting here to the end. And I'm just gonna grab this very last one there. So if you need to count, you should have 10. So I have 12. I don't know, for some reason I have 12. Okay, so it's 12. Yes, of course, because we did a 12 chain. I don't know what I'm thinking. So one chain and then come back in the same one again and just repeat the singles all the way up to the desired size that you need for this bag, for the center there, to put the snap and to have the center closed properly. Okay, so I'm going to continue mine, and then I'll meet you at the end of my rows. Okay, everyone, so I've already put my little rings on and grabbed 2 stitch. Now, these rings, I was hoping I had gold for these rings, specifically for handbags, but I don't have gold. I had only silver. So what I did was I went to my local store, making all kinds of noise here. I went to my local store and got myself a little bag for peanuts of these keychain rings, which works just perfect as well. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to break my head with the purse rings. So I got the keychain rings and hooked already my beautiful little handles on. How gorgeous is that? Oh my goodness. Okay, so they're the 4 of them. Had put my markers on to make sure that we are on the same thing as you saw me measure, 6 centimeters. Now I've done my little loop to go over the bag, but I'm going to stitch with the normal regular needle, sewing needle with black thread. I doubled my thread. Now you always choose whatever side you think is the nicest, and then I'll be sewing this onto the bag also, and then the loop to go right over and hook on there. Okay, so I pick the right side that you think is the nicest. So I know that I've started from here because I can check by the little mark down here. So I'm going to keep that to the back, and I'm going to sew it. Measure it. You have to measure it to be absolutely positive that it's in the center. So you can even count your singles here on the black. I'm just going to sew this part, obviously, and that's about it. Just this edge. Also choose a nice edge. This is a straighter one, so I'm going to put it here because the hook will be on, or the snap will be on here afterwards. One on this side and then one on the other side of the bag here, so we can snap it on. These are magnetics, by the way. So I'm going to complete it, and then once I complete it, come back to you and show you the full detailed how everything was nicely completed. Very easy. It takes a little bit of time to do this stitch. And these cones, I think I forgot to mention, they're 250 grams. So I had, from the pink one, I had this much left, which I think is about, I don't know, 60 grams or so that I have left. Not even 50 grams maybe. So, and a little bit of the black, which didn't take much, probably 30 grams of the black or so. Okay, so it didn't take much. Pretty economic to do. Very fast. Beautiful handbag. Once it's, of course, completed, nice and straight, and get it well organized, I think it becomes a gorgeous bag, right? So I'm going to complete mine, then come back to you and show you the full detail. Okay, my dear friends, so I pretty much finished my bag. I absolutely love it. Worked out perfect. Love, love, love the handles. I know it's kind of hard to see it here because it is much bigger than what I can show you. But I will try to bring it up to the dining room table and try to hold it and see if you guys can see it better. But so I've hooked it on. I've sewed it on. So it's the magnetic ones, and it's just perfect. It's absolutely beautiful. I love the color. I love the outcome. And I will have some pictures at the end of the video with it and with some of the other handbags that I did. Same style, different stitch. So thank you so much, everybody. I will see you in the next tutorial. I'll leave the measurements below with the end result. And let me know what you think about this beautiful bag. I think it came out stunning. I love it. Very happy with it. And so thank you so much. Please give a thumbs up on the video. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much, everybody. God bless. Until next time. Bye-bye.